What is something that's perfectly legal but raises a ton of red flags? Child beauty pageants. I'm an amateur hobbyist that loves building crafts. So the hardware store is a place I love going to when I need inspiration for some projects. Unfortunately, when I buy supplies for several hobbies at once, it can look very suspicious. Recently I bought small pipes, nails, propane refill, and electrical tape. I didn't realize it as suspicious until my friend who works there stopped to say hello and jokingly said, "What project are you building today? A bomb?" Quote. I looked down in my cart and realized, shit, it does look a little suspicious. I just wanted to build a marshmallow gun I saw on YouTube, not be on a government watch list lol. Mowing grass in the rain. Following another car for too long, especially in side streets. Digging roughly human-sized holes in your front yard at 2 a.m. Belonging to the Church of Scientology. What's the worst designed part of the human body? The sciatic nerve routing. Going through the piriformis muscle was a bad idea. The ear. Eyes have eyelids. You can close your mouth. But if there's an extremely loud noise, your eardrum has to just take it and be irreversibly ruined. Teeth. One set while we're a child, one set for 60/70ths of a year. The testicles, the ovaries, and the human spine. The elbow. Why the fuck is there a nerve that's so exposed? When you hit it at just the right spot, it sends a jolt down your arm. Lower back. What is something that is illegal but isn't wrong ethically? Paying for someone else's parking meter. Taking food from dumpsters. Loitering in a park. I've always wondered why this is illegal in some places. The point of a park is to loiter. Downloading scientific papers from Sci-Hub. Living off the grid without a permit. Opposition in my country. What is the most expensive waste of money? Designer water. Well, I bought some Christmas presents and then immediately forgot them on the train, so I would say that. Lol. My ex-girlfriend had an obsession with phone psychics. Not all at once. But over the course of a single year she spent over $15,000 getting life advice from multiple psychic lines. No one in her circle of family or friends could convince her to stop. I haven't spoken with her in a few years, but I wouldn't be surprised if she's still wasting her money on them. The I'm Rich app. When launched, the screen only contains a glowing red gem and an icon. It cost $999.99. You can't buy it anymore, but it was an expensive waste of money. Shopping when I'm hungry. Cable service, especially since half the channels are fucking ads. What profession do you have and would you recommend it? Project manager, producer in the tech, game industry. Are you the person who plans everything well into the future and down to every detail? When group of friends have an outing or go on vacation, do you plan everything and herd the cats? Do you have no tangible skills but are good at talking to PPL and being a mediator if things get tense? If so, it's probably the job for you. I am 32. Pays $90K. Also, don't expect to be thanked. Ever. Because the point of the job is to make sure all things go normal and smoothly. So if you're doing your job correctly, nothing is happening. Also, be ready to always be the downer that keeps the dreamers from going too far. And snapping tunnel visioning devs out of it by pulling them away from diminishing return work. Also, you cannot be the kind of person that gets stressed when things go wrong. Because things will always go wrong. That's why you have a plan B and C and D. In fact, if the team sees you losing your head, then it's all over. Flight attendant for a regional airline. Easiest job in the world. Cool benefits. Weird hours. Middling to bad pay. Chemist. Yes, if you like and are good at chemistry. It's interesting, low stress, decent pay. I interned at a marine mammal rehab, rescue facility in Alaska last summer. Which is a dream job to many. It was really cool. But also insanely gross. I had no clue sea lions were that vile. They literally had to warn us 3 times in training. You have to hold your breath if you approach them from the front. Because their breath will just about knock you out. And they belch a lot. Didn't listen once. But after I got a hot, humid face full of concentrated morning breath, fishy halitosis and bent over retching, I took it a bit more seriously. If you can deal with that, I'd recommend it. Exploration geologist, single and love adventure? 11/10 would recommend. Looking to settle down and start a family? 4/10 wouldn't recommend. I'm a fraud investigator for a large auto finance company. Interesting work. Very busy so time flies. Due to COVID, working from home for the unforeseeable future. When in office. Totally casual dress code. So no real work clothing expense. Good work, life balance. And pay is decent. Would recommend 8/10. What is the most messed up thing that is accepted in today's society? Worshipping of people with no talent or no insight of life or born into money. Politicians getting away with blatantly not giving a fuck about doing anything in the interests of the people they are supposed to be representing. Rewarding lying, deceitful, shit behavior and punishing people who try to play by the rules and discouraging honesty and respect. That there are people whose job it is to influence us and try and change our behavior without us realizing. It's creepy as hell. But it's just accepted. Idolizing celebrities and their toxic, moronic lifestyles. And loving corrupt politicians, war criminals. Hurting, mistreating others as a coping mechanism for trauma, mental illness, etc. If you won the lottery, what's the first thing you would buy? Realistically, a bottle of Prosecco from Aldi. A whole cake that I would eat all by myself while I am planning of things to buy and things to do. A treehouse in Costa Rica and some binoculars. A house. Land. Bunches and bunches of land. A house because rent is high as hell and despite having good credit I can't get a home loan. What is something you did as a kid that would probably label you as a psychopath as an adult? Pee in a public urinal with my pants and underwear pulled all the way down around my ankles. Whenever we had fire drills, I remember sitting there and hoping that I'd get to watch the school burst into flames. Used to hang my stuffed animals by their necks. My mom's social worker friend was very concerned. I used to take my model spaceships, spray them with my mom's Aquanet hairspray, light them on fire and pretend I was making a movie and crash them in the sandbox in the backyard. Whenever I'd get really mad as a kid, I'd go to my room and kick everything non-fragile around, which included my stuffed animals. After about 10 minutes, I'd feel better, put everything back, apologize to my toys, and give them a checkup with my toy doctor kit. Sometimes I would just collect frogs and put them in jars, then place them throughout numerous industrial complexes with a note of poetry attached. 2021 is about to end. What have you achieved during this year? Gained a little bit more confidence and opened up to talking to people. Something I've struggled immensely with. Some nice lady at the convenience store I visit even told me she enjoyed our chats, which was pretty special to me. Stopped taking drugs and drinking. Lost 70 pounds. And got a job I don't hate and pays the bills with room to spare. Bought a car for the first time in half a decade. Leased an apartment for the first time in 6 years. Paid off most of my debt. I also tricked a cute woman into following me around everywhere. 2021 rocks. Had a baby, recovered from a C-section and lost 30 pounds. I have read over 70 different books in a year. Smiley face. I have listened to 65 albums this year. Smiley face. Took a promotion at work. Earned a major professional credential. Earned $14,000 on a side gig. Bought a house on 7 acres and got it mostly livable. It was a project property. And managed to sleep some each night. I finally got through one of the worst all-time low mental health states I've ever been in after 2020. I feel much better. Plus I just quit my dead-end job to start fresh. Loudly crying.
Subscribe, my brothers.